Welcome back to the Sawmill, friends. We've got 3 places to go this morning. Got to run a Tractor Supply and get some weed killer, stop at the gas station and fill up those jerry cans I just put in the truck. And if you never used those jerry cans before, they are extremely handy. There's no Safety Sally stuff on them, and I think they'll last a long time. They're not cheap, but they're a lot better than those cheap plastic ones you get at the Wood-Mizer store that has all those handles. You got to press in 3 different directions for the fuel to come out. I hate those things. I get those on Amazon. If you're interested, there's a link down below. They're under $100, I think. And this is not sponsored by them or nothing like that. Just trying to help you guys out. And the third stop we got to make is up at the feed store and get some chicken food. And then we'll be right back here. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do today. I got several things that do need to get done. You guys hang in there. Let's go get George. Well, good morning, Mama Cat. How are you? Is that how you feel about it? It's 8 o'clock in the morning and it looks like you're already done for the day. You gonna say hello to your fans? Maybe later? Okay. Let's go grab Mr. George. He loves a car ride. I bet he's at the door. Come on, buddy. See if you can jump up in the truck. He's been getting better at this. Come on, George. Everybody's watching. The whole world is watching, George. Come on, let's go. Okay, I'll help you. Right here, friends, is the world's largest Chihuahua. I think he weighs about 10 pounds. He's a good boy. Likes the car ride. Thank you. So in addition to layer pellets, we also give our chickens plenty of table scraps. Got to spread these out before I let them out because they'll fight over them. I know, girls, you're all getting excited, aren't you? This right here's my favorite part. I lowered the camera just a little bit so you guys can see it. I'll let them out of the run and they make a mad dash for this bread right here. There it is. Keep it going, you're getting warmer. There you go. All right, guys, getting a little warm out here today. Let's knock out another job and go get the 754 and the air conditioner, more importantly, and go mow about 2 acres. You guys hang in there. If you're new to this channel, this is our Last Tech finish mower. It takes about a 12-foot cut, and man, it's nice. And you don't need a big tractor like this to power it. I think you can have 30 horsepower on the power takeoff and still run this thing. And if you never heard of Last Tech, they're in Indianapolis and they're owned by Wood-Mizer. I'm sure you guys know who that is. Since I'm going to be in this cold cab for the next hour or so, I thought it might be a good idea to get a fresh cup of coffee right here. This air conditioner is cold in this tractor. It'll run you out. Hopefully we've got enough diesel to mow down there. And we do not. I better pull the truck over here and top it off first. right, guys, it's the next day after I got done mowing last night. I had to do some weed eating and spraying some weeds, and that wasn't too exciting, so I didn't share that on this video. But we're back out here today because we need to work on this chicken house. I've been saying that for a long time. It's time to get it done. All right, for those of you that are not familiar with this project that I've been working on for about 10 years now, it seems like, that's the chicken house. It used to be my lumber kiln about 2 years ago. But now it's the chicken house. I need to finish the siding right here on the back because we're adding 6 more birds to this flock here in a few weeks. They're in the garage right now. And this outdoor run needs to be twice the size that it is. And in order to put it right here, the siding needs to be finished. My goodness, girls. Looks like I need to mow back here. Grass is taking over. And that looks like it's trying to rain, but that don't matter. I gotta get things done around here. We're supposed to have rain every day for the next 8 days. And rain is kind of my resistance. I fight against rain sometimes because I don't mind working in it, but it's hard to make these videos because the cameras get wet. I think I'm gonna force myself for the next 8 days to keep these videos going even though it's raining. And if you're curious what resistance is, there's a very good book about resistance, guys. There's a link down below. The War of Art. I read it at least once a year, sometimes twice a year. If you have trouble getting stuff done, that book will help you out. All right, so these are the logs up by the mill. I'm looking for some pine, and it doesn't have to be a nice one. And there's a decent white pine right there. No bark on it, but it should be solid. And I think that's long enough. I need 9-foot boards. Yep, still solid in the middle. Let's go get Mr. Cotto. And before I forget about it, I need to paint the ends of these boards. I'm painting them blue, and there's a reason why. So those boards are butternut, so I'm going to dry them with walnut. And I only have maybe 2 more logs, not enough for a full load. So I'll mix those in with walnut, and that way when they come out of the kiln here this fall, I'll see that blue paint and I know those are the butternut boards, because once these are dried, until you run them through a planer, it's really hard to tell on the surface the difference between butternut and walnut. That way I know what I got. Now for you guys that are stacking lumber out there and kiln drying it and you have different species in your stack, and I really encourage you to air dry that first. Don't dry green boards that are different species and different drying rates on different tables, because it's a schedule, and that's for a whole different video right there. But anyways, if you got a stack of lumber with different species in it, paint the ends. That way you know what species is in there. So if you got red oak, 90% red oak, 10% white oak, get some white paint and paint the white oak. That way you know which ones it is, because trust me, later on down the road, months and months away from when you sawed it up, sometimes a few years in my case, you will forget which boards are which. It happens all the time. Get you some paint. You'll never have that problem again. All right, guys, this is white pine. We're gonna be sawing this into 1x6s for the siding for the chicken house. We're doing an actual dimension on this, 1 inch on the thickness and 6 inches on the width. I should get 3 cants out of this, 6-inch cants, and then we'll put them up here one at a time and saw them down. One of those cants will have the pith in it. I'm not really sure where this log came from or how long I've had it, but I'll tell you this, it came from a tree service, because most of my tree service logs I get for free most of the time, unless they're pretty decent. Because judging by the knot clusters here and the size of them and This log has a banana to it, or a sweep rather. It's shaped like a banana. That sounds a lot better. I wouldn't have bought a log like this. I would have took it, but I wouldn't have bought it because of the low grade of it. Now, since we do have a sweep in this log, it's just like a banana. I'm going to do the old method where you saw the horns first and then you saw off the belly. Right now we have the horns facing up. And as you guys can see on this footage, there's a gap on both ends of this log between the log and the bed of the sawmill. That's because the horns are facing up right now on both ends of the mill. We'll come through here and make a cut. And this first slab will be heavy on the front and the back and not so heavy on the middle. And we'll switch it over, or flip it over rather, and do the belly. And when we cut that end of it, we'll be really heavy in the middle of the slab, but not so heavy on the front and the back. Then we'll square up the two sides and we'll have a square cant to get our 3 cants out of. On the sawmill, we got a Joe Maine Silvertip Turbo 7. Those are made by Wood-Mizer and built by Joe Maine down in Georgia. Or not really built by Joe Maine, but his guys build them. Joe Maine sells them. If you want to try those blades out, call Joe's cell phone number is in the video description. And that's a fresh blade. I just put it on there, so it should be really sharp and ready to go. I'm also running some cotton gin lubricant in the lubrication tank, and if I see a lot of pitch build up on the blade, you guys will see me walk over here several times with my diesel bottle right there. It's a little water bottle I got full of diesel, and I'll spray the blade guide rollers a few times to get the pitch off the blade. But since this log has been down for a decent amount of time, all the pitch may not be as bad. You guys hang in there. All right, friends, got that log finished up and got the slabs ready for the wood chipper. The wood chipper should be here next week, but by the time you guys see this video, the chipper should be here. And you guys will see it first, don't worry about that. I'll share that with you guys when it gets here. So I got about an hour of daylight left. I've not had dinner yet, but I want to get a head start on tomorrow's work day. So right now, I'm going to hook up the log dump trailer to the side-by-side, use the excavator to put some riprap in the dump trailer and take it down there to that culvert that we installed a few days ago. I probably won't put that around the pipe until tomorrow, but at least I'll have a head start on tomorrow's work. You guys hang in there. I guess I could load these by hand, but who wants to do that when you got a nice excavator sitting here? I'll tell you what, guys, I was talking to my buddy Robert Milton. Where's that? On the phone about an hour ago, and I told him we was talking about doing excavator work and tractor work, etc. I told him, I said, you know, I never knew how much I needed one of these machines until I had one. Man, I'll tell you what, if you got a decent amount of land that you're taking care of, not just mowing, this is vital right here. If you can afford it, I would highly recommend one. See if I can get closer to these rocks. And I've tried, friends, to use my feet to operate these pedals, and it just feels awkward. I don't like it. I'd rather use my hands. I guess if I was running this thing for 8 hours a day, I might get used to it more. I don't know.